Hi guys, I am Jetharam Chaudhary, Senior Salesforce Developer. Today in this video we will learn about one real business use case where we need to schedule a job to run after every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, less than 1 hour. So if you try to schedule this using Salesforce scheduling UI, we can schedule it to run every day at a certain time but not after every 5 minutes. So you can max schedule through scheduling UI after every hour. And the other way we have is to schedule this through to use Crone expression and schedule a batch apex or any scheduled job through developer console. But there is also a limitation. Also from Crone expression, you can schedule jobs with a single Crone expression for only once an hour maximum. It could be, it would take two scheduled jobs to run things every half an hour and 12 jobs to run every 5 minutes. We want to run a scheduled job after every 5 minutes, and this can, if I try to do these things through a schedule Crone expression, then it would take 12 jobs to complete my task. And there is in any Salesforce org, you can have maximum 100 scheduled jobs running at a time. So we cannot afford 12 job running at a time for single task because it is actually consuming our resource really high. So we are looking for a solution where we can have a single job running at a time, and which can process my records after every 5 minutes. So first, let's get started with what batch apex is, what cron expiration is, and we will create a simple batch apex class, and we'll try to schedule this through scheduling UI as well as through cron expression. So let's get started. uh, I have a simple I have a sim- mm, this is a five step process which we'll be going through. So in the first step, we will try to understand what cron expression is all about. So if you look at the cron expression, it is made of it is in a format where first digit is second, second is minute, third is hour, day of month, day of week, and optional year. So if you try to schedule a job after every 5 minutes to run, then you can give your cron expression something like that: 00 asterisk means any hour, any day of the month, and any day of the week or any year. So what it will do, it will run after every hour at 0 minute and 0 seconds. So it will run at 12 a.m, 1 a.m, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, like that. But the thing is, if you try to run this like at 12 a.m, 12 point after 5 minutes, 12 5, 12 10, then you need to create a separate scheduling. You need to schedule a separate job with something like this: uh, 0 5 and a stress, something like that. And same way, if you try to schedule this at 12:10, then you need to do something like that. So it will you will if you have three jobs, then with the help of that, you can schedule, you can process your records at 12, 12 5, 12 10, 1, 1 5, 1 10. But it requires three jobs, and the same way, if you want for every 5 minutes, then you will need 12 scheduled jobs, and eventually it is consuming your resources. But so we want a solution where we will schedule only one job at a time, and it will run after every 5 minutes. So let's first get started with a simple batch apex which we want to schedule. Okay. So in the second step, we will try to create a sample batch apex class. I'm not going to write any business logic inside it that you can think of as per your requirement, but I will create a sample class here. Yeah. So this I mean, as I said, this is not a real time. This is not doing something extraordinary. This is some simple sample class. You can think of any example as per your requirement. So in the start method, I'm fetching all the accounts and then passing it to the execute method. You might be aware of the sum of the format of a batch class, where we will have three methods: start, execute, and finish. I have some code in the finish method of the batch class that I will be explaining in the later steps. So you can write your business logic inside execute. It will first in the start method will fetch all the accounts and then pass it on to execute method. Once the execution is finished for all the accounts, then it will in the last step it will go to finish, and this it will execute this code. But right now this code is commented. So I have created a sample batch apex class. We will save this batch class and move on to the third step, where I need to create a sample scheduling class. I have already created a sample scheduling class. So what I'm doing in this scheduling class is I'm just scheduling this batch apex. I'm scheduling this schedule class, and internally this scheduling class is calling this batch apex, right? So here you can see that, so what I'm doing here is I'm creating a schedule class, and in this when this schedule class execute, it will call this, it will execute the batch apex class, right? uh, so I'm done with the third step. Now moving to the fourth step. So we can schedule this batch apex batch class through developer console. So let me go to the developer console. I can execute this batch apex class through developer console for one time, and for that I have something like, what I can do is I can go to the debug log, where I need to pass. I can store my job ID in the batch job ID one variable, and then I can give the name of the batch class, right? This is as simple, and this is the batch job size, and that can be up to 2000. Okay, so so this job is scheduled. right? So this is one time process. But what if I want the job to job this apex job to this apex batch job to schedule iteratively after every certain time, like I mean after every 1 hour or after every week or something like that. That also can be done through Salesforce scheduling UI. So if I go to my apex class, let me go to the apex class. Here I'll find one button, schedule job, schedule apex, where I can give the name of the my sample schedule job, and I can select this scheduling job, and I can schedule. So here you can see the frequency of the job to be executed. So we can define the frequency weekly or monthly. If you define the weekly, then we can also define the day of the week. I can define each day. So what will happen is this job will execute every day of the week, and I can define the preferred start time. So that means through scheduling UI you can schedule this job maximum per day at a certain time. So you cannot schedule this job uh, twice twice a day. I mean, if I select 1 a.m., then in that case this job will only run at 1 a.m. every day, not at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So something like that. So if I schedule this, then I go ahead and sample job for 2 a.m. I define the I mark it to run after every. Now what I'm doing is 2 a.m. It's scheduled, but when you go back to, you can monitor also the schedule job. So you just need to type the schedule job and you will see all the schedule job. So you have two jobs. One is running at 1 a.m. and another one is 2 a.m. So in this way you have two active jobs running at a time, and in the starting I said you can have maximum 100 job. So when you go live or when you have a real time, when you have actual production org, in over there you will have lots of mm, scheduled jobs. So you will try to optimize these scheduled job as less than as low as you can. So we have seen that through scheduling UI you can schedule a job after every 1 hour, not less than that. So the second option we have is Crone expression. So through Crone expression also we can schedule a job after every 1 hour, not less than that. So now comes the actual solution that we were trying to discuss. So what we will be doing is, as I shown you my batch apex class, in finish method I have written some code. So let me uncomment that code, and also in schedule job I have written something like system dot abort job. So when I schedule the job for first time through scheduling UI, after a certain time this job gets executed and it will call my batch apex class. So with batch size as 5. And once the batch job is called, as you know, batch apex is a asynchronous process. So once this statement is executed, it will go to the next line and abort the scheduled job. It will simply abort system dot abort job CTS. It will get the current context variable, and then the it will what would do, it will find the current job ID. So CTX dot get trigger ID, so it will get the current job ID and it will abort this job. So whatever I scheduled at present, it will be aborted. So right now I have, once this scheduled job is executed, it 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 called the batch apex class and aborted itself. So once this batch job is called, what it will do, it will start with the start. It will initiate with the start method, will process, will query all the accounts, and will apply its business logic, and will do all sort of business processes. Once those processes are finished, then at the at the end of it, it will call the finish method of this batch apex class. So in the finish method of batch apex class, what we are doing, we are scheduling this batch job, scheduling this schedule job in this once again in this finish method. So what was my batch apex class is, this is my schedule class, and so in the finish method schedule class, I will, so first I'll get the current date. So let's say right now I have 10:09. So if I get the current date and add 5 minutes, so my date current the dt variable would have date after 5 minutes. I will fetch the day from that date, month, hour, minute, second. Second would be hard coded 0, and year as well. So I will construct one string that would be called as cron variable. So I will pass minute, hour, day. So what the job which triggered this batch apex is already aborted, and in this job we are scheduling the schedule class which fired this batch apex after 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes means we are adding 5 minutes in the current time. So here in the cron expression we are doing minute, after 5 minutes hour, as the current hour, day, month, and year. And now we are scheduling the job once again. So after 5 minutes, when this job, when the scheduled job gets executed, it will again go ahead and schedule this batch job, again go ahead and pause and then submit this batch job for the execution. And in the next statement, what it will do, it will abort itself, right? And this process goes on. So we have one scheduled jobs running at a time, but what it is doing is, uh, it is submitting the batch job for execution, and immediately it is aborting itself. And in the finish method of the batch job, we are again rescheduling the batch job, again rescheduling the scheduled job after 5 minutes. So this is how we are uh, scheduling batch job after 5 minutes, but with some tricks. So at a time we have only one job, but internally we have written code something in such a way that it will submit the batch job after every 5 minutes, and your record gets processed, right? Let me know if you have any question, and then thank you for watching my video. Have a great day. Thank you very much.